Hey, I have a rather very close, very serious battle. We both had some pretty great teams. When I first saw his, I was like, oh, great. This is going to be a bulky offense, bulky defense team. It looks like just in the middle to me, which is not good because this seems like quite the annoying stall, but also two and or actually three very strong attackers. Three of the strongest in the tier actually, and those two, Golurk and Embor, are extremely big threats to me, as is Glaceon, but Glaceon is easier to handle. And another big threat is Tangela, because if I lose my Monferno, then that thing can do some damage, and it's going to be pretty hard to stop. But probably the biggest threat is Embor, because if I lose my defensive wall, and that thing can literally just wreck my shit, and it's so bulky and hard to stop. And so yeah, those are pretty much the threats on my team. I'm just using the standard stuff, and I have to work my way around this. This battle actually is very good, and this person on the other side is actually a very skilled player himself, and he makes some pretty nice predictions, as do I, and I slowed this battle down just so I could narrate the whole thing, and I want you to tell me what you think of this slower battle. So the first turn, I wanted to get the rocks up just so he couldn't be switching around as much, and he does not have a spinner, so I couldn't go for the rocks, and then I go for the wood hammer, get off a nice chunk. I'm like, alright, he has the Tangela to resist both my stabs. He's definitely going to switch into that. So as he switches into his Tangela, I switch into my Monferno, which is Specs, and I'm like, okay, he's going to go back into his Grumpig, and I know that I can take that out with two flamethrowers. So I just decide to go for that, and I do take him out with two flamethrowers, as I just said. And now he brings in his Embor, and I'm like, okay, this thing is either banded, or I don't know what I was thinking. I had to switch out of there because I'm locked into that. Go into my Shellgun, he shows me Earthquake, and I'm like, okay, that did not do very much, so he's not banded. I know that now. So I know his Embor is not banded, and I haven't seen its speed yet, so I don't know his item. And I go into my Gardevoir just to see what ability he has, and I actually didn't get to see it because I didn't even pay attention. But I'm pretty sure that's no. I'm an idiot. The whole reason I went into my Gardevoir was to heal Bell. He saw me heal Bell. He knew the only thing statused on my team was Torterra, so he goes into his Glaceon thinking that I would switch that in, which was a nice play, if I must say so myself, because I'm pretty sure that's the reason he would have brought it in, and now he thinks I'm going to go out in my Embor, or not my Embor, what am I saying? My Kangaskhan, because he went for the Shadow Ball, so he went back into his Miltank, but I just go in my Torterra to wish myself back up to full, and I was pretty sure he was going to switch, because why would you stay in when the obvious switch is obvious? So I set my rocks up on the switch. I thought he was going to overpredict again, so I just left my Torterra in, which you will see. I kind of need that at the end, but it's all right. So I bring in my Monferno. I'm pretty sure he's scarfed because he outsped me and went for the Ice Beam. But now I'm at Blaze range, which is all right. And since I didn't get to see that Miltank's ability, if it was Sipper, I would have stayed in because I'm pretty sure a Specs Blaze boosted flamethrower that's modest could take this thing out if it didn't have thick fat. I don't know, but he paralyzes my Shogun, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to be paralyzed, so I go for the rest, and then he outspeeds me, go for the hidden power ice, and I just wanted to stay in and go for the roar, which I get, which is just great. And he goes into his Golurk, and I'm like, okay, let's see if he has Ice Punch or whatnot. And I didn't really have to switch because I don't really have anything better to take this thing on now that my Torterra is dead. And I get the Dragon Claw, get a crit, which is kind of nice. And I go into my Gardevoir just to see its ability, and it is Iron Fist, which is awesome. I also switched into my Gardevoir because I wanted to save my Shogun for the Embor because it's a huge threat. And now that I know it's not scarfed, and I have seen those things scarfed before, I go into my Monferno to take it out with a flamethrower, and then I go into my Shogun as he brings in his Embor to fodder it, and he goes for the Flare Blitz, And now I go into my Kangaskhan because I wasn't sure what item he had, and either way I was just going to go for the disable. He outsped me. It wouldn't kill me because he's scarfed, and so yeah, that's a good play either way. And then I switch into my Electrode, I believe, because yeah, because that's a good switch for me if he goes into this Tangela. And I just go for the Hidden Power Ice Gem boosted. I swear I thought that would kill, but it didn't. And now that I know that it didn't, know that it wouldn't have killed from like 80% or whatever, I wish I had saved that for later, as you will see. And now I know he's going to switch, because why would he stay in and die? So I go for the Volt switch, go into my Kangaskhan, because I don't really need it anymore, because the Emboar can outspeed me, and the Tangela can just wall me, so I go for the return, and just let myself die. And so here's the time where I'm like, okay, it's now or never. Go in there, Monferno, you have one more switch in, the Golurk's gone, I can just go for that Specs Vacuum Wave, and it takes out the mill tank. The Emboar comes in, I go for the vacuum wave, does 30%. He takes me out the flare blitz, which I don't know why he didn't go for the earthquake. Oh yeah, blaze range, or I don't know what he was thinking, but either way, I think flare blitz blaze boosted is stronger than whatever it is, earthquake, and so I slowed this part down a lot. So here's the final epic last play that was well planned out. So his Tangela lives the HP ice with 4%, goes for the Giga Drain, and takes me out. That was a very close game because of how well it was played on both sides, and I felt like I had to slow this down to narrate it fully, even though I didn't even get that much extra detail in by slowing it down. So leave a like if you enjoyed this. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And leave me suggestions. Tell me, wait, did I already say that? I don't know if I said this, but tell me if you like the slowed down narration. And tell me how that Kangaskhan set is working out for y'all, because I know that you all are trying it. And yeah, all that good stuff. Leave me suggestions for custom moveset videos to make. Leave me suggestions for Pokemon to use in general. All that good stuff. And I will see you later.